again. It's some time since I built boards and legs for the fiddle yard and for the portable part of my layout. Laying the track on the fiddle yard, which I've now done, has been delayed somewhat by the need to move it to somewhere else to work on it, because it's simply not enough room in the workshop to lay out the whole portable section of the layout, fiddle yard and all. However, the opportunity arose when my wife had to go away for a residential conference for a couple of nights. So being in the house on my own, I could take up all the space I wanted, and I moved the portable section of the layout out to the landing just outside the workshop door, and was able to lay the track, and while I was at it, do a few other jobs that were easier to do when the layout isn't attached to the wall. So this is what happened. In portable mode, the fiddle yard board is erected first. Its legs are braced in both directions, which gives stability to the whole layout. Then the two portable station sections of board are bolted to it using carriage bolts and wing nuts. Once that's all erected, then I could start laying the track in the fiddle yard. For this, I used some second-hand BMO points and sectional track, which I happened to have in stock, which came along with something else I'd bought at some time. It's out of sight, so it doesn't matter that it doesn't quite match the track on the rest of the layout. Once I'd used up all the BMO track, I then reverted to using Pico track for the rest of the construction. Throughout the layout, I never join the rails across baseboard joins, but I do line them up extremely carefully to make sure that trains can move smoothly over them. As I've said before, this is the first time I've ever worked in this scale, so I have to be very careful all the time to keep testing to make sure clearances are adequate, especially as in the fiddle yard I needed the sidings to be laid close together. I definitely did not want to have overhead power equipment in the fiddle yard. You need to be able to get to the trains to move them about. I don't have them on the fiddle yard on the permanent part of the layout either. So what was always going to be difficult was ensuring that the pantograph engaged smoothly with the overhead wire on the scenic section of the layout as it left the fiddle yard. I've done quite a bit of experimentation with this and it sort of works, but I'm not altogether happy with it yet, and we'll have to continue experimenting with it in the future. I didn't quite have enough track to complete this project. By now my wife was back from her conference and we went together to the model shop Trains for You in Peterborough just to buy some more Pico track to finish off this and to make sure I had track in stock for building the new stations on the permanent section of the layout. Going together to the model shop meant we came away with a few more things as well, which I'll describe in a minute. Meanwhile, the other jobs I did while the layout was out on the landing. I had been given a couple of little kits with figures to detail my restaurant, and so I took that off the layout, a lot easier to do when it wasn't attached to the wall, removed the roof, which was a bit tricky, and then installed this person having his lunch, and the waiter and the check-in desk for the restaurant, and did a few more details of the interior while I had the roof off, so that could then go back onto the layout and look a lot more impressive than it already did. The undercoated boards for the back scene were attached, and some more details which I had had for Christmas were added to the station section of the layout, which is difficult to reach when the layout is in place in my workshop. I'm portraying Innsdorf at the start of winter, and there's a small Christmas market. So when we went to buy the track and my wife spotted these Christmas decorations, street Christmas decorations in HO scale, we just had to come back with these. Now this is a small kit and simple, but extremely fiddly and difficult to put together. One of the most challenging things I think I've ever done in railway modelling. But I did it, and here it all is. That fret is made of card, extremely tough, hard and stiff card, so with a bit of careful cutting it wasn't too difficult to get the parts out. The foliage is then put on by gluing each piece and dunking it in a suitable flock, which comes with the kit. And then there are very thin wires which have to be threaded through the holes in the top of each element, and then it's strung across the street between the various lamp posts and buildings on the layout. All done. I am very pleased with it. I think it really adds to the atmosphere of a layout in the Advent season.